Hi everyone. Just quickly, I've just rewatched, or most of the footage from the podcast that you're about to see. There is a section in the middle where I'm out of sync, and I'm really, really, really sorry. If that's going to bother you, feel free to skip it. I don't know why it does it. It's fine at the beginning, it's funny in the middle, and then it comes good again at the end. So I don't quite understand what's going on. I'm really aware of the problem, and I'm really trying to fix it, stop it. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm really sorry. If you can bear with a little bit of out of sync talking, then yeah, enjoy. But otherwise, I'm really sorry. I'm starting to feel like I'm living in some really bad Chinese ninja movie that's been dubbed by English really badly. Alrighty. Well, yeah. Thank you. Bye. Oh, and sorry. Hi everyone, and welcome to the Have Knitting podcast. I always look to the side when I'm thinking about the date. It's the 25th of July. Can you believe that it's almost August? I can't. Hi and welcome. I'm Christy. Thank you for joining me. I'm have knitting everywhere other than at home, where I'm either Christy or Mum. Although I suppose that's not true, because I don't walk down the street and have people calling me have knitting. That could be interesting. So anywhere on the internet, I am known as Have Knitting. Any show notes or anything can be found at haveknitting.com. I'm on Pinterest. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Ravelry. There's a group on Ravelry. There's a page. There's a page on Facebook. So yeah, Google me. You'll find it. I have had a crazy busy week. And so it's almost 9:30. I'm looking at the clock. I'm going to try not to keep this going for too long, because I'm a bit tired. I've left it, there's an ant I'm watching, sorry. I've left this until this evening because I needed to, well, I didn't need to. I went and did some shopping this afternoon, and I took my 7-year-old son out with me, and we went and got, he had a milkshake and I had a coffee, and we shared a brownie and some ice cream. And that was fun. He's my third child. I have 6. If you've never come across me before, if this is your first time watching, I have 6 children. My oldest is 11 and my youngest is 4 months old. Number 3, who's 7. And I'm sorry if my camera is stuffing up because it's doing funny things. Number 3. Yes. He and I don't spend a lot of time together. He just kind of gets lost in amongst everyone, I think, a lot of the time. And I'm very much aware of that. So I had 1 kid out today. I had 2 home with their dad sick, or probably 3, because the 3-year-old's getting sick as well. So I took my 7-year-old out with me. The baby came, obviously, because he's breastfed and needs his mum. And yeah, so we went out and we did some shopping, and my 7-year-old was terribly bored. I was looking for a new purse. I was in a bakery yesterday, and I opened my wallet and cards fell out, and I lost one in the bakery. Thankfully, it wasn't anything important. It was one of those, reward club card things. So I just rang up and ordered a new one, and I hope that's all I lost. But I didn't lose anything important, which is the main thing. So I needed to get a new wallet. So he was trawling through all the handbag shops with me, suitably bored for a 7-year-old son. And we walked into one shop, and they were playing Gangsta's Paradise. Have you heard that song? I'm not going to sing it, because if I do that, you'll never watch again. But they were playing Gangsta's Paradise, but it wasn't the old version that they had out in the 90s. Was it the 90s? Yes, it was the 90s, because I just had my license. It wasn't that version, which I've got on single somewhere. It was some other version, and it was awful. And we walked into this shop, and I'm looking for a purse, and I couldn't find anything that I liked, so we weren't in there for very long. But as we're walking along, he goes, "Mum, can we leave soon? I don't like this music." I had to agree with him. I think he actually said it was awful. I think that's what he said. So look, even my hip and happening son doesn't like some music. Anyway, so I did that today, and that was really good. It was really good to spend time with him. Just before he went to bed, he came out to say goodnight, and he thanked me for everything that we did. And I said, "Oh, I'm sorry if you were bored shopping with me." He said, "No, I don't mind. It was good." And I think it's really lovely that he just enjoyed spending that time with me, because I really enjoyed spending it with him. Even if we didn't talk about much, he usually talks like non-stop, and he didn't talk much at all. But that's okay. That's okay. It was just good to spend some time with my son, and I'm going to try to do that more often. Because we just, like I said, I think he tends to get lost. So his older two sisters are, they're girls. It's easier to take girls out shopping. They're slightly more, demanding isn't the right word. I think they're just better at getting the attention that they need because they're girls, and I'm a girl. Does that make sense? I don't know. And his 5-year-old brother is not in school yet, so he has time with me all week. And then I've got the 3-year-old and the baby, and they have me as well all week. So, yeah, so that was good. That's what I did today, and it was worth it, well worth it. And I don't know where you are in the world, but recently we had, I think it's called the Arctic vortex or the Antarctic vortex because we're in the southern hemisphere. But it's this like ultra cold weather pattern that came through, and a couple of weekends ago we had snow. Not here, at least I don't think we had any here. I certainly didn't wake up to find snow on the ground. But we had snow in the mountains and thunderstorms, which apparently is a bit of a weather pattern phenomenon. And so it was so cold. So cold. So thankfully that has passed, and we had really lovely sunny weather today. So warm that, the sheets and stuff that I hung out this first thing this morning were just about dry by lunch. And that's what I love about Australian weather. You can hang out your washing, and if it's a nice sunny day and it's, there's a bit of a wind, it's dry in a couple of hours. So, yes, thank you, sun and wind. So as I said, my week has been crazy busy. I think, I get here and, I talk to you about a range of different things that happen, and, I tell you funny stories, but I've taken to doing it everywhere I go. I went into Target today, and with my son, we had to. I'm not gonna tell you everything because I'll be here all night. Anyway, we went into Target, and they've got their toy sale on, and so they had a girl, like one of their work girls, registered chicks, whatever you want to call them, dressed up as Anna from Frozen, and so I proceeded to tell her this whole story about my 3-year-old. I do not podcast 24/7, but apparently somewhere in the back of my brain I think I do, and so everyone needs to know my funny stories. I think they're funny. I don't think everyone else did. And I came home and was telling my family about it when I got home, because it was Anna, the girl dressed up as Anna, and my 11-year-old was going, "Oh, and how'd she react, Mum? How'd she react?" Just like, yeah, I don't think she found it that funny. And that's okay. But I'll tell you the story because you're there and you're watching, and I don't care whether you're interested or not, because if you're not interested, just fast forward. Monday, we did the grocery shopping, and afterwards we've got just sickness after sickness going through the house at the moment. So my 11-year-old's been off for most of the week, unwell. And so she came grocery shopping with me on Monday, and she said, "Can we go into Target?" So this is a different Target to the Target that I went into today, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so I said, yeah, sure. So we went in, and she is looking at clothes, and I'm looking at clothes for the boys. And my 3-year-old finds a mirror. and she's standing in front of the mirror singing Let It Go at the top of her lungs. There's not many people in the store, and it's a small store, but I reckon everyone in the store could hear her. And we were near where she was in front of the mirror, was quite near, close to the register. And the lady at the register said something to me about how she's destined for the stage and she's very theatrical and I should get her acting lessons. And she's just, oblivious to the rest of the store, singing Let It Go at the top of her lungs. And when I went to pay for our stuff, the lady at the register said to my 3-year-old, would you sing for me? And my 3-year-old became very shy and kind of sidled up to my leg, got in really close, and then started singing Let It Go. By the time she finished, she sang the chorus at least, and probably a bit more. And by the time she'd finished, there were a few other people in the queue behind me, and the lady at the register said, "Oh, that was beautiful singing. It's the best singing I've ever heard. And don't you agree?" To the lady behind me in the queue, and thanked my 3-year-old for singing, and it was all very nice. And then we walked out of the store, and my 3-year-old turns as we're walking out of the what are they called? The sliding doors. Turns and waves at everyone and says, "Bye, see you next time." And it was hysterical. My 11-year-old and I just cracked up. It was just like, they were her fans. And she was just like, she was leaving stage right or, exiting the stage, whatever. Faring everyone well. Throwing out some petals. She didn't, but, I could imagine. Anyway, she's very theatrical, that one. What else? She's just coming out with the craziest things lately. She said something to me the other day that just had us all in stitches. I can't remember what it is now, but yeah. I wish I could, because it was super funny. It'll probably come to me like at 3 o'clock this morning. But yes, so anyway, I'm tired. Did I tell you I had a super busy week? Too many appointments. Too many running around after children. Bring back school holidays, I say. Although that was filled with appointments as well. Anyway, hang on, I'm going to have a sip of tea. It's just boring decaf. You can have a hug if you want one. They're free. So, knitting. I don't feel very animated. It's because I'm tired, so sorry. Alright. Because this week has been so busy, I haven't really been knitting much. I've been knitting a little bit, but not a huge amount. So, first off is Tipa. This is a beanie. Well, it will be a beanie by Woolly Wormhead, and I think last week I'd done the provisional cast on one garter ridge, and so I'm about, I think it's 4 repeats into the pattern, and so it's just knit on the bias. It's pretty cool. Knit in Malabrigo worsted, and I love it. It's really nice. I hope my son likes it. I'm trying to get it finished because, it'll be August next weekend, and then before I know it, it'll be September and it'll be spring, and there goes any need for a hat. Although September can still be quite cool. Oh, and one year in October we had sleet. I kid you not. Anyway, weather. So that's Tipa, and I'm enjoying it. It's really easy. It's not taxing on my brain. It's just, stocking stitch and garter stitch, really. The only thing is that I keep getting muddled between when I should be knitting and when I should be purling. The number of times I've had to tink back rows is just a bit ridiculous. I tend to go on autopilot when I'm knitting it, which is fine. Like I was reading the 13-Story Treehouse to my 5-year-old today, and I was knitting while I was reading. which was awesome. But the number of times I've looked at it, like I've turned it over and looked at the right side and gone, oh, hang on, I was supposed to purl that row. Or I was supposed to knit that last row and I've had to, yeah. It's a bit ridiculous, really. So that's that. And I've actually brought my Hermione's everyday socks, so you can see that they're actually real. So I'm teaching this sorry. I have started picking up the gusset stitches and I was looking at it going, didn't I start? But I have, and I just couldn't see that. So I'm supposed to be, well, no, I'm not supposed to, I am. I'm teaching a sock knitting workshop at my craft group, and there's only one lady doing it. Well, apparently there's two, but she wasn't there on Thursday, so. And her name apparently is Christy. How cool is that? She's got to be like one of the most awesome chicks on the planet, right? So, anyway, so this is knit in Regia colour Fatig 4-ply, whatever. I can't tell you the colour number. And I'm not going to try a French accent. You can have a look at my show notes. Oh, no. My project notes on Ravelry. It's all there. Anyway, so I'm teaching this sock knitting workshop. And the lady that is sock knitting with me is quite a proficient knitter. And she's never knit socks before, obviously, because otherwise I wouldn't need to teach her. And so I had intended to have at least one sock finished before I started teaching. Well, that didn't happen because of my thumb and life and everything else. So I took some completed socks with me and I was showing her the heel flap and everything, and, you know, like the different components of the sock, and I forgot about the heel turn. And then, because I had my monkey socks with me, I measured the heel flap, because I know I don't go by, well, no, I do. Okay, so if you're a sock knitter, you would know that a lot of patterns say 16 slip stitches along the edge. I do 18. I need an extra 2 on each. So what is that? 4 rows for the length. I've got a long heel. Random stuff you don't need to know. Unless you're going to knit me a pair of socks, then you need to know. Anyway, so I measured the heel because I wasn't sure. I mean, this is a modified heel, and I probably could have counted, but I don't know. Anyway, so I was measuring the heel, and I was spot on, needing to, you know, like spot on that point where you do the short rows and do the actual heel turn. And so I sat there and I went, oh, hang on, I haven't told my friend, the lady that I'm teaching, about the heel turn. So it actually ended up being quite serendipitous, because not only could I explain the heel turn on my monkey socks and show her, I could also then do it, like show her in her pattern, because she's knitting a pair of 8-ply socks, show her in her pattern where it was, and then also show her once I had completed it, and then explain how you pick up the gusset stitches. So it worked out to be quite serendipitous. And I haven't picked it up since Thursday. So I have started down the gusset, and that's it. That's my little Hermione's everyday sock. And yeah, it's going well. I just it's the thing that I knit on when I'm out, which is a lot at the moment, but I think I knit a little bit at the pool on Monday. But I think and then craft. I don't think I've really knit when I've been out, because I either have a baby I have to look after, or I have children that I have to chase. Yes, I'll furrow my brows at that one. It's not fair. So on Tuesday, my 4-month-old had his 4-month immunisations. Now, I had a 3-year-old with me. I'd left my 11-year-old at home because she was sick. So I had the 3-year-old with me. I had the baby. I had the nappy bag. I had my handbag. I had his blue book. In Australia, they have these blue books which has all the immunisation and medical history and stuff in them, and they use them for the first 5 years of their life or whatever. You just take them along to appointments. It tracks their weight and their height and everything. So I had that, all the bags, and my knitting bag. And I sat down, and I think I pulled it out and tried to knit, and I just looked at it and went, why did you bring it? Because the baby started grizzling, and then I still had to juggle the 3 bags when I went to take him in to get his immunisations, and then juggle them out again. And there are sometimes that even a die-hard knitter should just stop and leave their knitting in the car, and that was one of those times. I'm crazy. And you only need to know that if you're a first-time viewer. If you've watched before, then you would already know that. I'm going to have some more tea before it goes completely cold. A free hug. This was a bargain mug. I think I got it for like $3 during a sale. I love sales. I got a new wallet today, 25% off because of end of season sales. End of season sales rock. They're the best time to get stuff. Actually, I went into Myers, which is like a Swish department style kind of thing, and they had jeans on a table, reduced from like $90 to under $40. They didn't have the exact price, and I would have bought them. They were really nice, like dark grey jeans. Didn't have them in my size, of course. If I was a size 6, they did have a size 8. But I can't guarantee that I'll actually fit into 8s again for a very long time. But I don't know. Because I bought random things you don't need to know. I bought a pair of size 8 jeans after I had my 3-year-old. They're pink. But they're high-waisted ones rather than the hipster. Size 8 hipsters fit me. Size 8 high-waisted pants don't. I don't understand. If you do, you don't need to tell me. I mean, they're just a bit tight, and I think I finally got to a point where I'd stretched them out a little bit, and then I fell pregnant, and I haven't worn them since, and I miss my pink jeans. Anyway. Okay. All right. So just to show you, I wove in the ends to Ruskin. Actually, it was cold last Sunday, and we went to our church, and my husband's like, like talking about his head getting cold. And I said, oh, well, look, I'll just weave in the wind. I said, oh, no, but I've got to wash it. He's like, do you have to? I'm like, yeah, I need to wash it. Oh, all right, I'll just weave in the ends. So I wove in the ends, and then I washed it the other day when I washed all of my woolen. So it's done, and it has been worn, pre-washed. It says to lightly block it, but I didn't. I just kind of stretched it out a little bit before I hung it up on the clothes horse. And I haven't taken any proper photos yet, so I shall endeavour to take some proper photos over the next week. And any photos that I take of finished objects will either be on my Ravelry pages, of course, or I'll actually stick them on my blog. So I know some podcasters stick them like at the beginning or at the end of their podcast. I'll just stick them on my blog. So if you want to see them, just go to my project page or go to my blog. That's easy. What else? I started Rill, but because of my thumb, which I'll talk about in a minute, I haven't knit on it for a month. How sad is that? This is my awesome gift along project, and I just had no love. Mainly because I haven't been able to knit on it. But if you haven't heard of the gift along, go to the group on Ravelry because all the details are in there. Sorry, my brain is starting to vague out. I don't understand why they use sleep deprivation as torture. Do you know? Because okay, the reason being is, as a sleep-deprived mum, and I was talking to a lady yesterday who has a baby who's about 6 months older than my son, and 5-6 months older, and she was saying how she'd had a really rough night, and so like she was forgetting things mid-sentence, and I do that all the time. And I don't understand how sleep deprivation is a form of torture, because all you do is start talking rubbish, like you just start rambling and everything becomes incredibly muddled. So if they're trying to get information out of you, they're not going to get good information. Just ask a mum who hasn't had proper sleep for 4 or 5 months. They'll tell you it doesn't work. You're just going to get stuff about washing. I don't know. Okay, so this is my reel. And it's actually teal, the colourway, not blue. But this screen likes blue, apparently. So that's it. I'm up to the first short row, which hopefully I'll be able to work on this week. I'm keen to get back into it because I miss working on it. It's lovely, and I do miss working on it. So that's that. Yeah, you can participate in the awesome gift along. You've got a month and a bit. So it's running through July and August. So, it's just make something, not necessarily knitting or crocheting or whatever. Make whatever you want, even if it's just a card. Make someone for someone you know because they are awesome and you want them to know that. Talking about knit-alongs. So next is August, September. Okay, so October all the details are in the group on Ravelry. October through November, we're doing a Surrey Hills cardigan knit-along. So that is a Maria Magnuson pattern. It doesn't matter if you're going into winter. Summer is coming. You should start knitting for summer now. So we'll be doing that, October and November. And then January, February next year, because the 26th of January is Australia Day, we are doing an Aussie along. So choose a designer or a yarn or both, buy an Aussie and knit with us to celebrate all things Australian. I think my lip split. So sorry, I just noticed it. Anyway, so yes, and there will be suggestions towards the end of the year of different Aussie designers and yarn dyers. And I already know what I'm knitting and what I'm knitting it in. So no, sorry. So I'm tired. I'm cheeky when I'm tired. Actually, I'm probably obstinate. Let's just start using big words. And then I was thinking, Alicia Plummer, the campsite shawl that everyone's raving about, has just released the campsite cardi. And I am really keen to knit that. So I was thinking for January, February, March, April, May, I'm going to do a choose your own adventure along. So choose a pattern, like a designer or a technique or a yarn or something that you've never tried before and but always want to do, and knit that. So I've wanted to knit an Alicia Plummer pattern for a very long time, but just haven't done it. So I bought the pattern the other day because she just released it and she had it discounted. So that's what I'm going to knit. I don't know what I'm going to knit it in yet, but that is what I'm doing for my choose your own adventure knit along. Create along, craft along. But if you have never knit socks or never knit a semicircular shawl or never knit with mohair or never knit a softie, there is your opportunity to choose something different and dive on in. So that's what we'll be doing. Yes. And I will just show you some of the things, the 2 things that I've purchased recently. They came in the mail a month ago, but because of all the problems I've had with the PC, the laptop recording and everything, I showed you like 3 or 4 times, but you've never seen it. So this is Barocco Comfort in colour 9808, and it's just greens and grey greens. I bought this for a Rebecca Danger pattern, Maddox the Mischievous Monster. So I had a discount code, so I got that. I got the Malabrigo for the Tipa, and I got this Manos del Uruguay silk blend. And for whatever reason, my computer doesn't like pink. Doesn't like silk. Because it's 70% extra fine merino and 30% silk. I got this to knit damsel in for my daughter. I've since found that there is an online store in Australia that sells the same silk blend in the variegated. So I'm thinking I'm going to get that, and then I'll knit like Queenie or something in this. I think that's what I'm going to do. But this is really, because if you look at, so Tipa and the Ruskin that I showed you before and Damsel are all from Woolly Wormhead's Bambini's book. And if you look at the Bambini's book, Damsel is knit sideways. And it just looks really lovely in a variegated because it shows, it probably isn't any different to knitting it any other way, but I think it looks more effective in a variegated yarn. So I might do that and then knit Queenie in this. She will wear hats because she's just that kind of kid. Whether she, I don't know. Anyway, I'm still in 2 minds about it. I don't know why I keep flipping back and forth. I don't know. Anyway, you do not need my, what's it called? My indecision to weigh you down. Although if you have an opinion on it, share it with me. You may sway me. So, and I should show you. Hang on, I fell on the floor. Ooh. Goodbye. Hello. You know what I should have done was I should have gotten up and done one of those elevator things down. Tired Christy is silly Christy. So I finished. I didn't really finish anything. I swatched my Shetland Shorty. I don't know if that's the right side or the wrong side. The Shetlands, I just wanted to see what it would look like. And then I just sort of washed it and kind of finger blocked it out today just to see what it would look like. I haven't measured it. It's not a particularly big swatch, but I just couldn't be bothered just continually going back and forth. And I figure, I know it's not. Please don't tell me that I've done the wrong thing, because I'll probably cry. I know it's not a particularly big swatch, but it's big enough for me to see, to get an idea of my gauge. But that's really pretty. I really like this. Is it bird's nest lace or bird's eye lace? I don't know, but that's what it looks like. And like I said, the camera doesn't like lace, silk. Not like the camera doesn't like lace. The camera doesn't like silk. It likes to kind of do funny things to the. Anyway, so that's that, and I think that's quite pretty, and that's for my Shetland Shorty. So I can start on that because I have the yarn on hold at the yarn store, but that was like 5 weeks ago or something. I'm going to have to go down and ask if I can have an extension because I sewed my thumb in the door and I couldn't get started on it. I haven't been able to knit. So it's just, I'll show you. I did a good job of it, didn't I? It's still swollen. But I cut my fingernail today, and that I haven't been able to touch the tip of my fingernail for the last 4 weeks. So you can imagine my fingernail had gone quite long. But I cut that and I filed it. It was a bit hard filing it. It was a bit, oh, this doesn't feel very nice. And I still can't bend it completely because it's still a bit swollen. So, but it's on the mend, and I'm knitting. I still haven't tried lace, so I'm going to attempt that this week, and we shall see. See how we go with that. Yeah, it still gets a little bit tired. Like my thumb and my entire hand still gets a little bit tired if I've knit for too long, especially with the finer needles. I find that with working on the socks. So we'll see. It gets better every day, and I'm not too stressed about it. I just don't knit. I haven't even really had the time, so I haven't been knitting as much. But yeah, and that's it. That's everything. I think. I don't think I have anything else to tell you. My one funny story about my daughter, other than the singing in the shop, I've forgotten. I should write these things down. I do on Facebook. I share it all on Facebook. And the good thing about Facebook is that I can go back and look at them. But yeah, that kid, life is never dull with her. I really wish I could remember it because it was really funny. Yeah, oh well. If I remember it, well, actually, I can go and have a look on Facebook and I will put it on the blog. So if you want to read the funny story about what she said, I think it was what she said, yeah, go and have a look on the blog and I'll stick it in the show notes. Okay, so that's it. Thank you for joining me. I hope you have an awesome fortnight, and I'm hoping this records okay because I may sit down and cry if it doesn't. And yeah, and I'll see you in a fortnight. See ya.